Hello guys and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be helping you guys get through Trial of Ascension 450. Now I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer before the video, and I'll try to do this in every other video, but a little bit of a disclaimer. I'm going to assume that you have more monsters in your arsenal than you did in Trial of Ascension Normal. Trial of Ascension Normal, those videos are really there to help beginners. If you've been playing for anywhere more than a month, and I think even less than that, but a month, you should be able to beat Trial of Ascension Normal without help, pretty much. I mean, you might struggle on some of the stages, but essentially you might be able to do it by yourself, even on auto. But Trial of Ascension Hard is a bit of a leap in difficulty, especially when you get to stages like this, where floor 50, where it can be really difficult. So you're going to need more monsters than just your basic team. You're going to need better runes than the ones that they give you in the beginning. So you're going to need more monsters. Tyrant, Varad, Rika, Thrain, Sath. All these units are going to be really helpful units, and you're gonna need units of this caliber kind of to go through this. I mean, you can do it with free-to-play units. You can do it with units that aren't Nat 5s and all that, but it becomes increasingly difficult, especially when you don't have the runes to back them up. So I'm going to assume that you guys have a couple units, a couple more units, like maybe 5 or 10 more units built that are going to help you get through this stage. And better runes, so your units are going to actually be tanky, they're going to be accurate, and they're going to be fast. Because you're going to need that, especially the higher up you get in these floors. I mean, you're talking about you're going to get to floors like this, or floors, I mean, the 100th floor might not be bad, but floors like this, or like this, where it's just going to be difficult. So you're going to need to be prepared. So with that being said, that's my warning. If you're coming straight from Trial of Ascension Normal floor 100 and you've only been playing for 3 days, you might struggle to get past this. Though, I implore you to try your best to get through it. Try to get as high as you can, because at the end of the day, you're getting rewards. So, floor 50, by the way, will give you 4 mystical scrolls, or no, 2. It'll give you 2 mystical scrolls. I just have the pass. So, with this floor, floor 50, this is what I'm going to help you guys beat today. It is a very scary floor. And if you don't prepare correctly, you probably will lose. So, with that being said, as per usual, I'm going to give you guys a threat level for all of these monsters. And this is the first time I've really given units this high of a threat level. But I think it's in all fairness, right? So starting with Rahul, the dark oh my god, the dark beast monk. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the beast monk. I gave him a threat level of 7 out of 10. Reason being is, while he's not exactly the scariest amongst everybody here, he has massive support capabilities. I mean massive. And if you do leave him alone, he will mess up your run. He will mess up your run. I mean, first things first, let's start with a skill 2. I think that's the best way to start this. Defend. Escorts the ally target for 3 turns and instantly recovers your turn. Receives half of the damage inflicted on the escorted target while making the damage dealt to the escorted target 0. And counterattacks the enemy target. So essentially, he will place a buff on the enemy, the counter buff or whatever, where the enemy that you're attacking, if they have that buff, will take 0 damage, while he takes half of that damage. And on top of that, he will counterattack every single time. You could attack that unit 100 times over before Rahul gets his turn, or before the other unit gets his turn. He will attack all 100 times, right? So you do not want to really hyper-focus units that he puts this on. I mean, you don't really want him to put it on anyone at all. You don't want him to get this off, because if he does, he will probably place it on the boss that you're trying to defeat, Woonsa. Or he'll put on Icares, or Icares, whatever. Which, again, you don't want anyone being safe here. You want to lock down the enemy team. And if he's preventing the enemy team from even taking damage, and he's counterattacking, especially with this first skill, you're going to lose, right? And the scary thing is, this first skill has a strip. So, let's read it out loud. Smashes the enemy and removes 1 beneficial effect from the enemy with a 75% chance. The damage increases according to your max HP, which you got to remember, this is not only Trial of Ascension Hard, but this is floor 50. Everyone's going to have massive amounts of HP. especially the higher up you go. So we're kind of lucky that this is floor 50 and not like floor 80 or 90. But they're going to have a massive HP pool. And he grants the branding effect to the enemy for 1 turn. So think about this. If he's counterattacking every time you attack, and he's stripping your buffs off, and he's also placing a branding, not only is he going to deal increased damage, when these two, Icares and Woonsa, deal damage, they're going to deal massive damage. And trust me, Woonsa and Icares are capable of dealing massive amounts of damage. So this is what I mean by him setting up his team. He prevents his teammates from taking damage, while he himself takes very little. And then he's also stripping and branding. It's insane. And then his skill 3 is even worse. So he attacks all enemies with a spell that summons the power of darkness. The attack has a 75% chance to remove beneficial effects, and another 75% chance to block beneficial effects from being granted on them for 2 turns. The damage is proportional to your max HP. So AoE strip and AoE beneficial effects blocks. That means that if you bring like a unit like Thrawn, if you don't have like Veramos or whatever there, if he places that beneficial effects block, you're not getting that immunity, you're not getting attack power, you're not placing a defense buff or a shield or none of that. So we're obviously going to try and bring Veramos, because Veramos has that passive where he will remove harmful effects, which will be useful in case he does get this off. But I don't really want him to get it off. I don't want Rahul to move at all. So I think a threat level of 7 out of 10 is reasonable to give him, right? But moving on to Icares, I gave him a threat level of 9 out of 10. Yeah, a pretty high threat level. He's pretty dangerous. He's deadly for beginners if you leave him alone. His third skill steals the HP of one of your allies, proportional to 50% of his max HP. So again, we'll read this. Steals life from the enemy. The amount stolen is equivalent to 50% of your max HP, and you gain another turn if the enemy dies. Again, remember, Trial of Ascension hard, floor 50, super massive HP pool, which means he's going to be able to deal tons of damage. This is where your units like Crow or Naomi, if they're not built bruiser-ish, like I mentioned to you guys earlier in the other videos, attack, crit damage, HP, they will just straight up die. I don't care what shields you have, I don't care what defense buffs you have, they just die. And if you're considering the branding effect that Rahul's placing, I mean, it could be worse. And then gaining another turn after that is crazy. And the skill 2 as well is pretty annoying, where he'll attack all enemies, deal damage proportionate to HP, and then recover the HP of all allies by 25% each. So he's healing people. So, as well, you know, on top of Rahul just preventing people from taking damage, and him taking decreased damage and counterattacking, they're also just healing on top of that. And then you also get dots here, but the dots aren't the scariest part here. I think dots are the least of your worries. So, for him, we're kind of going to want to prevent him from moving as well. Cool. 2 units already, or technically 4, because there's going to be 4 of them there. Like, two of Icares and 2 of Rahul's. We have 4 units already that we just can't let move. And then last but not least, Woonsa, which, as you could probably guess, I gave him a threat level of 10 out of 10. I put a few words, I put it in the most simplest way in my notes. Hyper focus needed. You do not want to let this guy move. Skill 3 has scary damage, which if we look here, he attacks all enemies that steal their HP by 15% of your max HP, steals all beneficial effects on all enemies, increase the attack bar of all allies by 20% if you successfully steal beneficial effects. And then skill 2 attacks the enemy 2 times, strips the enemy, and then also places beneficial effects blocks, and this attack will not land as a glancing hit. And then skill 1 puts us to sleep. So, tons of strips, tons of big damage, healing, and just preventing your units from moving. We have an idea of how the enemy works. Let's go in and build our team. So after looking at the strategy info, one thing for sure is we're bringing Veramos. We got to bring units that just bring tons of crowd control. Again, like I've mentioned, bring units that, or invest in units that have crowd control. Units like Charlotte, units like Tyron, Teor, so on and so forth. So, Charlotte is fun, but I want to bring Tyron because I know y'all have Tyron. Spectra is obviously a really good unit. We won't bring units like Crow or Naomi because, again, they're going to take massive damage here. I mean, there's a chance that Woonsa is going to move or Icares is going to move, and I just don't want to give them that chance to kill one of my units, because the instant they kill Naomi or Crow, that's just going to make the fight longer, because now I'm down a monster and I'm down my damage. Spectre, on the other hand, is a crowd control unit. He does reduce attack bar and attack speed and attack power, and he could do big damage on skill 2. I recommend at least, your entire team, if you can, make them crowd control units. Vero, Tyrant, Spectra, Lauren are units that I would bring. Lauren is obviously one of the better choices. You're going to want to probably bring her to focus on Woonsa specifically. Your Vero, Spectra, and Tyrant will help focus on the other units, preventing them from moving. Lauren will be there to prevent Woonsa from moving. I do not want Woonsa moving. I don't want him getting this third skill, second skill off at all. The least scariest thing about him is his first skill. And even that's going to probably be a little bit annoying. But other than that, we can... what we want is a heal or a cleanse. Bringing units like Lulu is probably better than bringing units like Fran. Because if Rahul or even Woonsa places that beneficial effects block, Fran, while she does have a single target cleanse, that's all it really is. It's a single target cleanse. Lulu has an AoE cleanse, and then Vermos has his passive cleanse. So we can bring Lulu, but I'm not going to really need heals like that. I don't believe I will. I might be sorely mistaken, but we'll probably bring Bella Dion. We have more defense breaks. We have another strip in case Lauren fails a strip or we need more than one strip. And then we do have attack bar boosting and healing with the third skill. But if you're newer, I recommend bringing Lulu. But this is what we're going to use. So, of course, we're going to look through the runes. This is what they look like. Pause the video if you would like to see the runes or their stats. You see, by the way, Vermos, you're going to notice with a lot of my monsters, they either have tons of speed or accuracy. So Vermos has tons of accuracy as well as a bit of damage. Tyrant is kind of like iffy here because I built him on damage. So he's speed, crit damage, attack. And he has okay accuracy, but it could be much better. Here are his artifacts. He actually has... No, he doesn't have good defense. But here's Spectra. Again, Swift Blade. And then skills 2 and 3. Skill those up if you can. I think they're very helpful. And you can see I'm kind of working on Tyrant skill ups. With Lauren, here are her stats. Swift Energy. Basic, but it works for her. A late game build could be Violent. Like, you could bring her on Violent Focus, and she would just get tons of turns, which would work. You want her for the defense break, again, to lock down that Woonsa. You see she has 101 speed, good amount of HP, and an 80% accuracy. Awesome, right? Here's Bella Dion. She's on Swift Fight, Speed, HP, Defense. Tons of defense, tons of HP, fully skilled up, because that attack bar boost and the healing, I just love it. So, with that being said, let's get into the fight. Okay, so for wave 1, I'm going to tell you to focus Gildong, which is the Taoist. While Lure can be rather, not scary, but annoying. All he's going to be able to do to you is damage if you bring immunity. But Gildong can strip, but obviously I don't have immunity, so just going to crowd control him, defense break both the Gildongs, and then just deal as much damage as possible. You see I'm kind of aiming, by the way, for defense breaks on everyone, so I get in as much damage as possible. I'm just trying to kill people. I'm just trying to kill units, but Gildongs I'm aiming for first. But let's do this. Just prevent him from moving. Again, aiming for the Gildongs. We're not going to use Spectra's third skill. And with Lauren or Bella Dion, if you brought both of those units, Bella Dion is a very good unit. Bella Dion, you got remember that on her first skill, I believe she does have an attack bar reduction, so you can be strategic with it, even if it's not that amazing of an attack bar reduction. it's by 15%. I mean, it's still something. So you get a defense break and you prevent the enemy from moving just a bit longer, which it can save you if you play if you play it right. But we're gonna first skill it the rest of the way so we have our skills fully reset, ready to use by the time we enter the next wave. So wave 2 is probably where you guys might have the most trouble leading up to the boss fight. I mean, all of these units that you're facing have attack bar pushing, but one thing that you can distinguish is that Yeon Hong, the light Chakram Dancer, the light Sky Dancer, the one with the fans, Heals is like the healer, and then Charlotte is the real crowd control unit here. So what I want to do is prevent Charlotte from moving. I want to aim for Charlotte first. See if we could freeze all of them. Okay, we freezed the Sky Dancers, which is fine. But we want to make sure we're preventing Charlotte from taking turns and moving. So we'll do this. So aim for Charlotte first, and then the Sky Dancers. You do not want them to get crowd control. And Charlotte on her third skill, I have her, but Charlotte on her third skill will increase the attack bar of all her allies. So even if she doesn't reduce your attack bar, she will increase the attack bar of her own allies. So really don't want her to move. Okay. We'll just do this. We'll mobilize. We didn't need to heal, but I wanted to make sure we could prevent her from moving. Bear Moss skill 2. And if we get the chance, I guess we'll use Spectra's third skill. We don't want that Sky Dancer to continue moving. Defense break. We didn't reduce attack bar though, but it's fine. Let's do this. Let's hurry up and kill that Charlotte before anything happens. Okay, she's dead from that. There's no way she lives. Let's aim for the Sky Dancer that's not stunned. First skilling it the entire way. We want to make sure that we have our skills ready for the final boss fight. But it really shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, these monsters aren't insane yet like the other floors. There we go. So here's the boss fight. Here's the scary part. Again, what you're going to want to do is prevent Rahul and prevent Icares from moving. None of these units you want moving. It doesn't matter. Rahul can be annoying and Icares can be annoying, but you're especially going to want to hyper-focus Woonsa. So, there we go. I would use third skill, but if he fails to freeze, like I would use Tyrant's third skill, but if he somehow fails to freeze, then all these units are going to get to move. The Icares and Rahul on the right, or I guess the left of the Woonsa, but the right to us will move. So use Tyrant's skill 2 if you're going to use Tyrant, because he does reduce the attack bar by 75% if you attack an enemy under the decreased attack speed effect. So everyone will lose their attack bar. So check this out. Boom, everyone is back to 0. So we're safe, guaranteed. We could save that freeze for another turn. Hyper focus this Woonsa. Deal as much damage as possible. We don't need to freeze yet because everyone's stunned. So it would be a waste of a freeze. So just continue to aim for the boss. Lauren is especially good here because of we do not need to play slows yet, because she's gonna prevent. I mean, has the multi-hit attack bar reductions, so it's gonna be much easier for us to do stuff. So there you go. You see that after they got out of their stuns, we had the freeze ready for them, so they're not gonna be able to do anything for another turn. So I mean, that's why you want to hold on to those skills. You don't want to just use it willy-nilly. And then again, back with the second skill, reducing everyone's attack bar, so everyone's reset. I mean, this stage is scary if you don't go through it properly. But if you know what you're doing, if you bring the correct units, which these units are not hard to get a hold of, this stage becomes incredibly easy. I remember when I first started playing and I tried to get past this, If I saw this stage, I was like, that's where I give up. There's no way I ever beat this. And yeah, I would have never beaten it because I just didn't have the knowledge to beat it. But now we do have the knowledge. You guys know exactly what to do. So I hope I helped you guys in some way. I'm sorry if the way I talked was confusing, but I promise you I tried my best. I tried my best. So I hope you guys beat it, and I can't wait to see you guys in floor 60. See you guys then. See you guys in the next one. Peace.